Welcome to another unboxing video, Saturday night edition. Now, I gotta admit that actually the first two items I already unboxed. I just couldn't wait. First up, these are vintage little pie tins, maybe for making pot pies. Why in the world would I want these? Certainly not to make pot pies. What I want to use these for are to reproduce some television backs using masonite, and I will use these for the little anode cup. Now they aren't that deep, but it just so happens that I have a few Admiral Bakelite TVs, the tabletop versions, and they use something very, very similar to this. The necks just stick out just oh so much past the edge of the back. So this is pretty darn close to the original, because luckily I have one original back and I want to make several copies of it. So that's why I got these. I was actually searching around on eBay for vintage or modern stamped metal ashtrays, but I just wasn't finding anything really looks suitable. And then I got the idea to look for small pie tins, and I came across these for a few bucks. So that would be nice. I'm not sure what they're actually made of. They might actually be tin. Or it's just heavy gauge aluminum. Alright, on the other item, pure impulse buy. Woke up one morning, jumped on eBay, and saw this. Actually, I think I saw some other items that hit my saved searches. And then I just looked to see what else the seller had for sale, because I do not have any standing searches on eBay for Hickok tube testers, but that is indeed what this is. Well, regardless of how I found it or stumbled across it, I was to buy it now with a reasonable price, and it looked super, super clean. So I just hit the button, and here it is, and indeed, it is extremely clean. Like it's barely been used at all. But in my excitement in purchasing it, what I didn't really notice was the island. I thought they were all the same. In fact, I didn't really know why this model had this goofy thing in the middle until I read up on it a little bit. It's that Hickok's idea was that after you test a bunch of tubes and these things will start wearing out, you just pop this out and replace the whole thing and stick a new one in. Well, the reality is Hickok has been out of business a long time, and there just really aren't many of these spares floating around, so nowadays you gotta take care of these. But what I didn't realize is that there are several versions of this. Most of them, certainly the ones that I'd seen before, had sockets for the newer tubes, the Compactrons. Whereas this does the old style, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin tubes, and then octal 7 and 9, which is perfect because that is a vast majority of what I test. What I also didn't realize is that the model 6000A, which is what this is actually really, really close, really similar to the 600A that I already have. It's just the updated version of it. I thought this had more features, but it really doesn't do much more. Yeah, they added a little test for transistors over here and selenium rectifiers, I think. And the shorts test has been streamlined, so instead of rotating a switch through all the positions, it has a bunch of lights, so it tests all the short conditions at once. Otherwise, it's basically the same inside. But, hey, you can't have too many tube testers. That's for sure. So, I have not plugged it in. I do not know if it works. I will do a dedicated video on checking this out. Alright, next up we've got the big box. Or maybe not. My helper has just delivered a surprised, unexpected package, which is from one of my online friends. Alright, no idea what this is. Dear Bob, I ran across these and thought you might like them. Oh, Johnny. Radio and television news. I've heard of these. I've seen them for sale online. But, never actually held one in my hands or flipped through one. From December 1952. So, my TV collection runs from like 46 to about 53, so this definitely falls in that time frame. Oh, there might be more than one issue in here too. So it looks like it might be a Christmas issue. Oh yeah, December 52, duh. And an ancient radio electronics. I wonder if this is the year when they switched over, because I know that radio electronics used to be called something else. I just don't want that online. Alright, so this will be something fun to flip through. Let's take a quick look at these publications. So, Radio and Television News, December 1952, in this issue. UHF antennas. I believe UHF was just coming online in 1952. Alright. I like looking at the ads in these old magazines. Sometimes it's actually pretty useful when you see things on eBay or flea markets or whatever, you're not sure what they are, or are looking for info about them. You can find it by finding the original ad for the item. And what they cost originally, and what year they came out, and so on. Doorknob capacitors for TVs. A lot of training courses in these ads, I've noticed. So you could take a home study course and set up shop and make some extra money repairing TVs and radios in your area. So this is a combination of some news on the latest in radio and TV, and some projects you can make yourselves, probably some product reviews, servicing tips. Fun stuff. Kits. I look at how much some of the stuff cost originally too. Like I had one of these Superior TV Barger. I have that exact thing, and it was a really ugly design inside. Superior Instrument Company was known for using war surplus materials and using tubes, like using triodes for power rectifier, like using obsolete tubes in applications they weren't originally designed for because they were getting them for so little. I'm surprised to see that this generator costs $40. Because just like I think there's 2 tubes and a few capacitors, a couple coils, and that's about it. It did not work very well. So they selling a whole TV chassis. I'm surprised that you have to pay $40 for a piece of junk test pattern generator when you can get a whole TV chassis for only $164. I wonder if that includes the picture tube. Anyway. Alright, so about Radio Electronics, same month, same year. Very similar content, I'm sure, because I'm familiar with Radio Electronics. Singmo Electric Company. So even some of the same ads. A lot of home training courses. Astron. I recognize all these brands from recap sets. Yeah, electronic organ. Talking about printed circuit technology to reduce production costs. TV service notes are great to read, but it's a lot of work to go through all these back issues and pluck out stuff that might be useful. Okay, I spoke of a TV diagnostician. TV service notes. I think I've seen some compilation books where they take all these service notes and compile them into one book. That's pretty cool. Be neat to find one of these kits. Now and then TV kits do show up on eBay, unassembled TV kits. I don't think I've ever seen that one. So, thank you for sending these, and I will definitely have some fun reading through them. Alright, now we can get to this last big box. This is the one I was really interested in opening up tonight. Another impulse purchase, I suppose. Every few days I go on eBay and look at the vintage collectible TVs and peruse the offerings. Well, I don't generally buy too many TVs off of eBay because shipping is just not practical for most, but it certainly is for this TV. And in fact, I've even already got one, but just couldn't pass it up for this price because it looked to be in really good shape. It is another Fogo Safari. I recall not too long ago I picked one up for what I thought was a great deal at 80 bucks, and it works. The seller didn't know it worked, but I quickly found out that it does. It did. Well, it still does. Now this one similarly said does not work or unknown condition. And maybe that's why I ended up being the only bidder for 50 bucks. I've seen a lot of these on eBay lately. There's at least one a month. And the prices have been all over the place. I've seen them go for I think as much as 300, and well, this one was only 50. Now I will admit there is one significant problem with it. Well, maybe two. The antenna won't go in all the way, but it's missing the hood. which is not all that uncommon. There should be a hood that comes down over this. Oh, and it is missing on that. That's something else that was kind of weird. In the photos in the listing, some of the photos that had all 3 knobs, and some only had 2 of the knobs. I almost looked at during the shoot, all the seller was taking photos. They lost one of the knobs or something. And I was hoping that it was located and included with this. Regardless, I think I might actually have a spare for it. And I gotta fix this antenna because without having the antenna go in all the way, you can't flip the handle up. Looks like it got bent at some point. No, the brass is kind of mushroomed over, and it won't slide in. But regardless, I mean, even if this doesn't work, I figured for that price, just for parts, it's a pretty good deal. I've got it up on the workbench now for a closer look. And I just realized that I was a knucklehead. This side has all 3 knobs, and this side is missing 2. For some reason in my mind I thought only one side had knobs, so I got 5 out of the 6. But I think I might have a spare, as I was saying. I also just realized it's missing the feet. There should be some brass feet that screw onto the bottom. So yeah, I think this will be a parts set, but who knows. So power connects in here and is positioned for off, internal battery DC or AC, and it was in the AC position. Popped it open. So based on my experience with my other Safari set, I know that these they're all transistorized, run a fairly low voltage, and pretty reliable components, so I'm not really all that concerned about just trying this out. Plug it into my PR57, so I got some isolation protection and fuse protection. And let's give it a try. Just a regular TV cheater cord will fit in the back. Use the handle to keep it propped up. Dim the overhead lights. There, PR's on. And set. That's a good sign. And can't quite tell. I got sound, but no light on the CRT face. This is brightness. Brightness down here. Oh, look at that. It works. I had a suspicion it might work. C channel 6.
Go to SelectQuote.com. 1985, we shop, you save, get full details.
That antenna's hooked up.
Your premium could vary depending on your health, insurance company, and other factors.
No. I'm not getting very good reception. I was just playing with the contrast, and for a moment, if I want to turn the contrast rapidly, some static on there. Try to zoom the camera in so you guys can see this a little better.
We know you have questions. Call now, for instance. If you suffered a stroke, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto, call Ferrer, Perot, and Foxborough. 800-527-9808. Let's get back to monolith monsters and stunning monochrome, and I have to complain that sports events this past week? And guess what the concession stand charged me $4 for a bottle of? Water. A simple thing like this morning. Can you tell us how long we've got before it starts again? Well, there's no additional precipitation forecast for another 48 hours. Thank you very much.
So that's going to be it for this unboxing video. We'll be looking for a Filco Safari restoration project in the near future.
I'd say we have no more choice in the matter than a student has in avoiding one of my assignments. I can vouch for that. What about the evacuation? I'd alert the people anyway. If our time runs out, you can get instructions to them.